بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we are going to continue the topics of Tawaf. As you recall, the first segment of Tawaf was what? The conditions of Tawaf. The second segment was the obligations that form the structure of Tawaf. And the third one is the troubleshooting, section of troubleshooting. So we are starting to do we are starting to do the troubleshooting of the Tawaf. So there's a small section that what is getting out of tawaf, okay? What is getting out of tawaf? Remember the consistency that one should not get out of mataf. And we said mataf, I showed you an image. Mataf is all the area except for Safa and Marwa, and except for the extended part where they don't do tawaf. So wherever the tawaf is permissible, be it in the open area of Masjid Haram around the Kaaba, or be it under the closed area in the Masjid Haram around the Kaaba. So like there's quite open area, and then the roofed area starts like around the Kaaba, Masjid Haram, where there's a Mizanian floor where you can see the Kaaba. There you can do the tawaf. There you can do the tawaf. Therefore, it is the Mizanian floor, people with wheelchairs, they would like to do longer tawaf, like reciting Dua Joshan Kabir while doing the tawaf. They do the tawaf there. And also top floor, the tawaf is permissible as long as the Kaaba is at least about one span above the level. You see, so if it's above one, many people they observe from they kept the camera on the floor, and they took pictures from the floor. So they saw that the Kaaba was a bit higher than 4 span, and that allows. However, for mustahab tawaf is okay, but for wajib tawaf, you have to come down immediately to pray behind Maqam Ibrahim, because Maqam Ibrahim is not as tall as the wall of the Kaaba. And we are going to discuss further issues of Maqam Ibrahim and exemptions of the Maqam Ibrahim. At this point, we are just going to consider the recommended tawaf you can do up, because recommended tawaf, salat of Maqam Ibrahim, you can pray anywhere. Salat behind Maqam Ibrahim. So exiting the tawaf, khuruj anil mataf. Ruling number 304. إذا خرج الطائف عن المطاف فدخل الكعبة بطل طوافه ولزمته الإعادة. If a person performing the tawaf around the Kaaba enters the Kaaba, okay, his tawaf will become invalid, and he must redo the tawaf. It will be necessary for him to redo the tawaf. And so it will be necessary to redo the tawaf. It will not be sufficient for him to suffice with that tawaf. So lazimatu tawaf, that repeating would be compulsory. Wal awla, however, it's recommended precaution to complete the tawaf, okay? ثم إعادته. So it is a recommended precaution to complete the tawaf and then redo it إذا كان الخروج بعد تجاوز النصف. So remember that criteria half, which is half of the tawaf, 3.5, 3.5. But say the Sistani, in the obligatory issue, this criteria is 4th round. You've done 4th round, you don't need to redo it, except in a very few cases. If you have not done the 4th round, you need to redo it, the whole thing. Like you did the round 1 and the round 2. Let me just bring our, yeah. So you did the round 1, completed round 2. Now you are doing round for this Hajj al-Aswad, we said. Round, fourth round, okay? So the criteria of Sayyidi Sistani is, have you done fourth round or still you are in the third round? Still you are in the fourth round. Have you completed fourth round or still? So criteria of Sayyidi Sistani to fix the tawaf is post round or pre-post round. Pre-fourth round and post-fourth round. That means passing Hajj al-Aswad, completing the fourth and getting into the fifth, or no, you are still in the fourth round. So if you got into the fifth, then most of the cases you just fix your problem and complete it. If you were like before fourth round, okay, before completing the fourth round, then most of the cases it is required to redo the tawaf. I'll keep reminding you about the criteria fourth round, because many people they forget what is the criteria of fixing the tawaf. Well, أولى إتمام. Well, أولى normally is recommended precaution. إتمام الطواف ثم إعادته. This is recommended precaution. Why do you leave the tawaf hanging? You say complete that tawaf if it is, especially if it was إذا كان الخروج بعد تجاوز النصف. If you entered the Kaaba, you exited the platform of tawaf after the fourth round. You see, the criteria is to say the Sistani fourth round, and no, sorry, this is not fourth round. Sorry, let me just fix this because I got distracted with this problem in front of me. Yeah, so here in this case, the criteria is 3.5 round. That means you are doing the tawaf. This is your third round, and you reached here because there are 7 rounds of tawaf. So you reach here. So if you have passed this area, just complete your tawaf. No need to, I mean, no. If you have reached this area, okay, so instead of abandoning it totally and doing a new tawaf, you completed this area and whoopsie daisy, you entered the Kaaba. Or you entered that sliding base of the Kaaba. You know the sliding base we call Shadarwan. Kaaba comes down, okay? Like the Kaaba comes down, and then there's a sliding base of the Kaaba. That sliding base is the Kaaba. So if you are on that, you touched it, or you're on it, you entered the Kaaba. I did not enter the Kaaba. Yeah, but like it is the Kaaba, and then there's a wall. So the wall's supposed to be here to keep this inside the Kaaba. But for some reason, God knows best, they kept a slide base, which is part of inside outside. So now if you touch that or you're on it, halas, you got out of the Kaaba. And we said even for one moment you get out of the platform, that means you got out of the platform and in the Kaaba. Just touching this sliding base is like getting into the Kaaba. So just to recap what we said, I mean, I'm just going to show you the image as a reminder. So it's always good to use some images. So as you can see that the sliding base, yeah. You see the sliding base here? This is Kaaba, okay? This is supposed to be in the Kaaba. But somehow, for some reason, God knows best, okay? You must ask Mullah Google or something like that to let you know that why is this sliding base part of the Kaaba and it's out. So anyhow, if you touch this or you stood over it, you have left while doing the tawaf. While doing the tawaf, there's 4 sides the Kaaba has this base. So while doing the tawaf, whoopsie daisy, you are now on this. It was too much crowded, and it happens here. Some of these crowded areas, the people they get pushed and they get on this sliding base. So if you got on the sliding base of the Kaaba, that means you exited the platform. This platform exited, and we said even for one moment. So that means you have to fix that. So this is the mataf we said. if I can share with you, okay, as we said, if I can share with you the um with this red color, okay. So this is all under the Masjid al-Haram, part of the Tawaf, not the Safa area. Let me just redo it again. Okay. So see this wall? Not Safa and Marwa. Safa and Marwa is out of the. So all this is Mataf, Tawaf area. It seems I got a magic ink or something like that. Yes. So let's try this one. Yeah. This is the disappearing one. Yeah, this stays. So all this is, though it is covered area, yes, but it is Tawaf area. So all this is Tawaf area, platform of Tawaf. Okay. So if you exit here, while doing the Tawaf, if you exit in the Safa and Marwa area, okay, or if you come on the base of the Kaaba, the sliding base of the Kaaba, or if you go inside the Hajar Ismail, okay, that invalidates the Tawaf. So this is what I was trying to point out, that platform of the Tawaf. This is not platform of the Tawaf. This is not platform. This is not platform. This is not platform. This Safa and Marwa are not platform. So let's go back. Okay. So this is ruling number 304. Ruling number 305. So إذا تجاوز عن مطافه. So that was what? خرج عن المطاف. بطل طوافه. خرج عن المطاف. He exited the platform of tawaf. And like such as دخل الكعبة, entering the Kaaba. So he entering Kaaba, ruling number 304 talks about entering the Kaaba. Like you go inside, there is a door of the Kaaba, and they were like doing the cleaning. And many times it happens on the day of Arafah when the Hujjaj are in Arafat. So it's like calm and less people are there. Then they come and they clean the Kaaba from inside. And so what happened? The people, they do tawaf, they get the opportunity to enter the Kaaba. Many times it happens. And they allow them to come and see inside the Kaaba. So what happened? That the guy was doing tawaf. Oh, door of Kaaba open. Let me just get this opportunity. And he went inside with the people and entered the Kaaba. So his tawaf becomes invalid. That is ruling number 304. Ruling number 305 is getting on the slide base of the Kaaba. Okay. So he did not go inside the Kaaba. He got on the wall of the Kaaba, which is the Shadharwan. Okay, they call it Shadharwan. إذا تجاوز عن مطافه إلى الشاذروان. If he if he crosses if he crosses the his mataf, I mean if he exits his mataf, if he exceeds the mataf, that tawaf area, إذا تجاوز عن مطافه, if he exceeds or passes over or he abandons the mataf إلى الشاذروان, to the Shadharwan. So Sayyidina, again, kiss your tawaf goodbye. The tawaf will be invalid. He says no. A Shadharwan's case a bit different because you did not enter the Kaaba. You came on the part of the Kaaba. So still you can fix it. So the entire tawaf does not become invalid. Only that segment which you entered the Shadharwan, the sliding base of the Kaaba, that segment is invalid. Take a U-turn and come back. Okay, what is the location from which you entered Shadharwan or came on the top of Shadharwan? Okay, that's the area you need to redo it. Go back, take a U-turn and come back and don't touch the Shadharwan anymore. So he says, إذا تجاوز عن مطافه, if he exceeds the platform of the tawaf, that means he leaves the platform of the tawaf. To where? To Shadharwan, that sliding base of the Kaaba. بطل طوافه بالنسبة إلى المقدار الخارج عن المطاف فيلزم تداركه. So that segment will become invalid. So he's coming and this side where there is less crowd, he just said, let me just go and kiss the Kaaba and do some du'as and this and that. So he came and he super glued himself on the Shadharwan. He stood on the Shadharwan, and especially sometimes when it's crowded, that's what people they do, because they don't, everybody's pushing them. So once they're on the sliding base of the Kaaba, nobody pushes them, nobody peacefully touches himself to the wall of the Kaaba. So he says, if that happens, that he needs to redo only that part which he got off the platform of the Kaaba, platform of the Tawaf, and got onto Shadharwan, or the sliding base. فَيَلْزَمْ تَدَارُكَهُ. So it will become necessary for him to recap that. He missed that part, so redo that part which was missed. والأحوط الأولى إعادة الطواف بعد تدارك ذلك المقدار وإتمامه. And it is recommended precaution to complete that round, complete the whole round and the tawaf, whatever is remaining from the tawaf, and then repeat it. So repeat after والأحوط الأولى إعادة الطواف. Redo the whole tawaf after completing that tawaf. Okay? After recapturing what was missed, that's a small part, then completing the rounds, finish, and repeat the whole tawaf. But as I said, HAJJ Sistani doesn't want you to leave half tawaf or some kind of, especially after passing half or after fourth. Just complete the tawaf, then redo whatever you want to redo. كما أن الأحوط الأولى أن لا يمد الطائف, and it is also recommended precaution. Some ulamas, they have obligatory precaution. Please check your marja, what does he say? Okay, Sayyid Sistani is recommended precaution while doing the tawaf. Don't stretch your hand out to the wall of the Kaaba, or to kiss the corners of the, or touch the corners of the Kaaba. Don't touch the Kaaba. Other fuqaha, they say obligatory. That means if you touch the Kaaba, go back a U-turn during the tawaf. Not kissing. Kissing is like facing the Kaaba, giving back to the Kaaba. We are talking about while you are like walking and you are touching the Kaaba. Okay, like you're walking around the Kaaba and you're touching the walls of the Kaaba and corners of the Kaaba. Don't do that. Okay. on the based on the recommended precaution. Some of the fuqaha, they have fatwa, some of the fuqaha, they have obligatory precaution. This causes invalidation of that part of the tawaf. So that's why just say the Sistani says it does not cause invalidation of tawaf for me. However, it's recommended precaution not to touch anything of the Kaaba during the tawaf until you are done with your tawaf. Totally. Okay. كما أن الأحوط الأولى, as it is recommended precaution that the person is performing the tawaf should not touch any of any of the wall of the Kaaba or the corners, the pillars, 4 pillars, corners, or anything. Don't touch. Okay. أو غيره. Let's go to the ruling number 306. There's a shortcut guy, okay? The guy who went into Hajar Ismail. Remember, no entry, the arch, you don't, this guy went inside, okay? Ruling number 306. إذا اختصر الطائف حجر إسماعيل في طوافه ولو جهلا أو نسيانا. If somebody shortens the distance, okay, through Hajar Ismail during his tawaf, either out of unawareness or out of forgetfulness, the whole tawaf will be invalid? No. The round which he did, that will be invalid. بطل الشوط. شوط is the round. بطل الشوط الذي وقع فيه ذلك وقع ذلك فيه. The round in which that happened, that is going to become invalid. فلا بد من إعادته. Therefore, it will be compulsory to repeat it. والأحوط الأولى إعادته بعد إتمامه. Again, recommended precaution, complete it. Okay? Then, how should I complete that going inside? يعني that round, cancel it in your mind. Didn't you cross Hajar Ismail? Okay. So this is not your round. Finish it to Hajar al-Aswad and repeat this round. Repeat this round, complete it, and then repeat the whole thing again. Okay? So don't just abandon this, whatever you have done. Complete it as a recommended precaution. So فلا بد من إعادته. بطل الشوط الذي وقع ذلك فيه فلا بد من إعادته. That it will be compulsory and necessary to repeat it, to repeat that round in which he took a shortcut inside the Hajar Ismail. But after, and it's recommended precaution, والأحوط الأولى إعادة الطواف بعد إتمامه. Redo the tawaf after you completed that round which you did the shortcut, that cancel it, repeat that round, complete your remaining rounds, and then recommended precaution to redo one whole tawaf back again. So what about if somebody did not go in Hajar Ismail? Because it was too crowded, he just got on the top of Hajar Ismail, the arch. So does he have to repeat the same thing? Okay. He says, وفي حكم اختصار الحجر وفي حكم اختصار الحجر الطواف على حائطه على الأحوط وجوبا. So he says, the ruling of doing a shortcut pass through the Hajar Ismail is applied as well on the ruling of somebody who will walk on the Hajar Ismail. That round will become invalid on the basis of obligatory precaution. So the ruling of shortening the tawaf by going inside Hajar Ismail, by passing through Hajar Ismail, applies on a person who is going to walk on the wall of Hajar Ismail on the basis of obligatory precaution. So Sayyidina, what about touching the wall? Because we heard Like in the time of Sayyid al-Khuy Marhum and other Maraja, they don't touch Hajj Ismail. If you touch Hajj Ismail, take a U-turn. And he says, وَالْأَحْوَطِ الْأَوْلَى أَنْ لَا يَضَعَ الطَّائِفْ يَدَوْ عَلَى حَائِطِ الْحَجْرِ حال tawaf. And it's recommended precaution that a person who's performing tawaf should not put his hand on the hijr, on the wall of the hijr during the tawaf. So don't touch the wall of Hijr Ismail. That's it on the recommended precaution. But check with your marja, because some maraja might consider it obligatory precaution. So now we come to the troubleshooters. Okay. حكم قطع الطواف ونقصانه. Ruling of cutting the tawaf or decreasing it. So there are rulings for decreasing the tawaf, there are rulings for increasing the tawaf. Let's take the ruling of قطع الطواف or نقصانه. You discontinued your tawaf, or you did less number of rounds. So what is your ruling here? Ruling number 307. يجوز قطع طواف النافلة عمدا. As far as it goes with the recommended tawaf, then he says it is permissible to cut the tawaf of nafila intentionally. Okay, so that is number one. So we have nafila tawaf, recommended tawaf, extra tawaf which mu'minin they do, okay, for their marhumin, because it is recommended to do the, when you are in Makkah, to do the tawaf rounds with the equal to the number of the years, number of the days of the year. Wow, 365, but 350, that's a lot. Wait, don't get so nippy or something like that. Just understand. Once upon a time when we used to go for Hajj, okay, we used to go for 10 days, 2 weeks in Makkah. Now it is a shortcut, 5 days, 3 days, 2 days, short Hajj. But those days were like, and before our generation, they used to go 40 days, like 20 days in Makkah and then 30 days or 20 days in Medina. There were times. So let's say now, if somebody goes for 10 or 11 days in Makkah, he stays, then he goes to Arafat. So let's say 10 days. It is recommended after after every farida of salat to do one round, one tawaf, okay, for your marhumin, for your beloved ones, for whatever. So what happens that in the case of one day, you have 5 salats. Before Dhuhr, you do 1 round. After Salat al-Asr, you not 1 round, 1 tawaf. So these are 2 tawafs. Before Salat al-Maghrib, you do 1 tawaf. After Salat al-Isha, you do 1 tawaf. 2 tawafs. And then before or after Salat al-Fajr, 1 tawaf. 5 tawaf daily. How many rounds you are doing daily? 5 7 is 35. 35 rounds daily. 10 days, you are done in 350 rounds. Why it is so difficult to understand? It's just like do. But are we like, do we have time? Well, don't do shopping. Why do you have to spend too much time in shopping? Go before the Salat al-Fajr Haram in the night time, prayer time, okay? Do 1 round. Okay, do after Salat al-Fajr 1 round. Do before Dhuhr 1 round. Do before Maghrib Isha 1 round. Or after 5 tawaf, not round, sorry, tawaf. 5 tawafs. Each tawaf has 7 rounds. So can I just cut my nafila tawaf, recommended tawaf, because you said that Sayyid Sistani has very peculiarity in cutting the tawaf, okay? Yes, it is, but nafila says يجوز قطع طواف النافلة عمدا. It is permissible for someone to cut his tawaf, okay, cut his circumambulation around the Kaaba, the recommended tawaf, intentionally, deliberately. وكذا يجوز قطع طواف الفريضة لحاجة أو ضرورة. This is what is the normal fatwa of majority of the fuqaha. Similarly, it is permissible to cut the tawaf or obligatory tawaf for circumstances, for certain need encountering or certain necessity. Similarly, it is permissible to cut the tawaf or obligatory tawaf due to the need or necessity. This is a general. Say this instance, rather, absolutely in every case, it is permissible to cut off the tawaf most apparently. That means there are dalil, they show, some scholars, they understood apparently that no, you cannot cut unless if there is a need or necessity. Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah says, Al-Azhar mutlaqan, most apparently to me, in every case, intentionally, unintentionally, deliberately, all these cases, you can cut off your tawaf intentionally and deliberately without any worries about it. So now we know that for Sayyidi Sistani, yes, there is peculiarity, but for him, even if you will mostly, you might be committing an abhorred act or something like that when you cut off the tawaf without any need or necessity. And stick to the need and necessity. Ruling number 308. إذا قطع الطائف طوافه اعتباطا. Okay, due to the needs and necessity, most apparently. Now here, what about, okay, Sayyidina, for us it's permissible, we follow you, we do your taqleed, and to you, most apparently, you can cut off your tawaf anytime. But what if we cut off our tawaf? Should we continue or should we redo? Here comes the rule of 4 rounds yes and 4 rounds no. So you will not be sinner if you cut the tawaf. But then after that, that rule of before 4 round, redo it again. After 4 round, complete. Before 4 round, redo it again in most cases. After 4 round, completed in most cases. Especially when there was a need and necessity to cut. But what about need and necessity to cut less than 4 rounds? Kiss your tawaf goodbye. So he says ruling number 308, and this is a good criteria. Those who go to Umrah frequently, memorize this rule. إذا قطع الطائف طوافه اعتباطا. اعتباطا يعني unnecessarily, without any cause, without any need or necessity. فإن كان ذلك قبل إتمام الشوط الرابع بطل. Okay, batal in Arabic means the hero also, or the brave guy or whatever. Anyhow, but here batala, it's a past tense. Okay, it's not a noun. Noun means batalul mulakama, Muhammad Ali Clay, the champion. So the batal is champion of something. But here it is not batalun, a noun. It is batala, a verb. So many times when we say we don't do the haraka at the end when we read, it's like art. So people say batal, like hero or champion. Okay, so here he says batala, tawaf will become invalid. Then what? Lazimatul i'ada. This is what? Before completing with this one. See, before completing the 4th round, Hajj al-Aswad. He's just going to put a step now on the Hajj al-Aswad area and whoops, daisy. The need and necessity came and he had to leave the tawaf. So therefore, when he comes back, he can continue. But what if there was no need and necessity? He did it just like a moody situation, or out of just like remember the guy who came from Australia or the island of I don't know, Siberia, something like that. After 20 years, he says, "Oh, cuz, salamu alaikum, alaikum, how are you? What?" And he cuts the tawaf. So after his a cousin or whomsoever goes, he has to do the whole thing. Why? Because it was not out of need and necessity. Unless that meeting with that cousin was out of need and necessity. Otherwise, Just high and high, high and by doesn't work out. وَلَزِمَتْهُ إِعَادَتُهُ. Okay, so he needs to redo the tawaf. Why? Because it was before completing the fourth round. You see how Hajj al-Aswad here? Before coming to that point. وإذا كان بعد تمام الشوط الرابع فالأحوط وجوبا إكمال الطواف ثم الإعادة. So if it was after completing the fourth round, here he broke the tawaf for the need or for اعتباطا, sorry, without any need or necessity, okay, without any cause. So here he says that he will have to, if it was after the completing the fourth round, so on the basis of obligatory precaution, complete the remaining three rounds and then repeat it. Repeat it. Why repeat it? Remember, we said most of the cases you don't repeat except for few. This is one of the few cases where you have to repeat the tawaf. Why? But he said, absolutely, you can break your tawaf. But yes, he did not say that you can continue. What is the ruling of after should I continue or should I repeat? So because you broke your tawaf unnecessarily, i'tibatan, without any need or necessity, so that's why you complete and redo. وإذا كان بعد بعد تمام الشوط الرابع, after completing the fourth round, then on the basis of obligatory precaution, complete the tawaf, whatever remaining rounds are there remaining, then repeat it. هذا في طواف الفريضة. So this is the rule of the obligatory tawaf. وأما في النافلة, as for the recommended tawaf, فيجوز البناء على ما أتى به. So it is permissible to carry on of whatever he had, complete whatever, wherever he had stopped. على ما وتكميل الطواف في محل القطع مطلقا, and to complete the tawaf. Absolutely, in every case. So recommended tawaf, if you do it i'tibatan, without any need and necessity, fine, complete it wherever you stopped, okay? In any case, need, no need, absolutely. ما لم تفته الموالاة العرفية, as long as the consistency was not interrupted, okay? So interruption of the consistency is what breaks the tawaf. Uh, okay, sorry for that interruption. So this was about the so now we know the conclusion is that obligatory tawaf. Now this is a scenario. We're talking about scenario of i'tibatan, unnecessarily, without any need or necessity. Okay? So let's try to summarize this. Once you understand this ruling, all the other rulings of interruption will become easy. Where did that go? Yeah, there you are. Okay. So once this ruling is understood, all the rulings of the needs and necessity and interruption of tawaf will be understood. So few things. Number one, the interruption could be intentionally, deliberately, uh, due to the needs or necessity, or not due to the needs or necessity. Interruption of tawaf, breaking the tawaf, cutting the tawaf. Second issue, is it wajib tawaf or mustahab tawaf? Nafila or recommended tawaf or wajib tawaf? So these are the aspects. From these aspects, the rulings will be upcoming in details. So if it was before completing the fourth round, kiss your tawaf goodbye. We're talking about wajib tawaf. If it was after completing the fourth round, obligatory precaution, complete and redo. But why redo? Because it was without any need and necessity. Okay, what about the recommended tawaf? If it was interrupted without any need and necessity. So in that case, the recommended tawaf, it is permissible in every case to interrupt the tawaf and to complete it as well. But there is one condition for recommended tawaf, which is also applicable to the obligatory tawaf. Whenever somebody wants to complete the rounds from wherever they stop, they need to make sure that they have not lost the consistency or the muwalat. And that muwalat, leaving a huge gap between after cutting and continuing. If you have left a huge gap, no, you redo the recommended tawaf. Or getting off the platform of tawaf. Like getting inside the Kaaba or exiting, getting inside the area of Safa and Marwa, or exiting the platform from any sides of the tawaf area. Okay, let's see the next one. Yeah, ruling number 309. We start now seeing the needs and necessity. I'tibatan, without any need and necessity, just without any cause, okay? Interruption, we got the rule. Now this lady, she's performing the tawaf. What if she encounters, like, out of the awe of the spirituality, and then she was like a very irfani kind of thing and hyperbolic thing, and whoopsie daisy. So anyhow, if إذا حاضت المرأة أثناء طوافها, if a woman encounters her monthly period during the tawaf, okay, وجب عليها قطعه, it becomes obligatory upon her to cut the tawaf. Number one, فورا, immediately. Don't stay there even for 1 second extra. So قط والخروج من المسجد الحرام فورا. Exit the Masjid al-Haram. Exit the Masjid al-Haram, that means if you are in the side of Safa and Marwa, you can just get into the area of Safa and Marwa. He says the ruling of this has been mentioned previously in ruling number 291. And we said that after she becomes relieved from her monthly period, does her ghusl, we had mentioned detail about her that if it was after fourth or before fourth round. Kama marra. Similarly, the rule of tawaf being interrupted by encounters of metaphysical impurity, okay, has also been mentioned previously when we discussed the impurity on the body and impurity on the dress. Najasat of badan and jaza, ruling number 285 and 300. Excuse me. So he says, if a woman encounters her monthly period during the tawaf, becomes obligatory upon her to cut the tawaf and exit the holy mosque immediately. And the rule of her tawaf has been mentioned in ruling number 291. Similarly, the ruling of cutting the tawaf and completing the tawaf for a person who encounters metaphysical impurity during the tawaf, or he realizes that he has a impurity, physical impurity on his body or dress before completing the tawaf. This has been mentioned before in ruling 285 and 300. Ruling number 310. Okay, what if there's another scenario of cutting the tawaf? إذا قطع طوافه لمرض. So number one scenario was اعتباطا, just without any need and necessity. Number two, due to the physical and metaphysical impurities encountering the person who's doing tawaf during the tawaf. This is a new scenario. This is a new scenario in which a person cuts the tawaf due to the sickness, okay? Due to the sickness or helping out a mu'min brother, okay? Or having some problem for himself or for a mu'min brother. So in this, like I remember the narration also that a person was performing tawaf and Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, or one of the Imams alayhi salatu wasalam. So a mu'min brother calls him, so he goes and he quickly comes back. So Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu asked him, what was the problem? He said, no, there's a mu'min brother, he was in need, and I told him, let me finish the tawaf and then help you out. He said, go now. But Yabna Rasulillah, and I'm making it in a different context. The context is one, but scenario, just Yabna Rasulillah, this is wajib tawaf or something like that. He said, go. For helping a needy person is more greater than how many tawaf he mentions, how many reward he mentions, and this and that. So this concept of helping out others has more weight and more priority. We have tawatur ahadith, multiple ahadith, abundant ahadith about helping out others, much greater than your fasting and your recommended fasting and recommended tawaf and all those kind of things. And in some cases, the need and necessity of your mu'min brother is greater than it is also greater than your tawaf. If you're doing around the Kaaba and somebody falls down and somebody becomes sick and nobody is paying attention, or he might be stampede, people might stampede over him or something like that. So I mean, it's very much important. And in wajib also, if it is the life and death was threatened or serious harm could afflicted to him. So here he says, إِذَا قَطَعَ طَوَافَهُ لِمَرَضٍ أَلْجَأْهُ. If he cuts the tawaf due to a sickness which encounters him, أَوْ لِقَضَاءِ حَاجَةٍ لِنَفْسِهِ, or fulfilling a need for himself, like need and necessity, remember? Or not just his need, أَوْ لِأَحَدْ إِخْوَانِهِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, or to one of his mu'min brothers. Okay, so now we know the reason of cutting the tawaf. فإن كان ذلك قبل تمام الشوط الرابع فالظاهر بطلان الطواف ولزوم إعادته. So if it was before completing the fourth round or Hajj al-Aswad, then apparently it is the tawaf becomes invalid, and it becomes necessary to redo the tawaf. If it was when? Before completing the fourth round. And if it was after completing the fourth round, وَإِنْ كَانَ بَعْدَهُ فَالْأَظْهَرُ الصَّحَّةُ. Most apparently, remember, that means check your marja'. Maybe your marja has zahir, qawlun zahir. From the evidences, he might have understood that it is invalid. But Sayyid Sistani Damadullah says, most apparently, to me, it is correct. Okay? So what should he do, Sayyidina, if it is correct? فَيُتِمُّهُ مِنْ مَوْضِعِ الْقَطْعِ بَعْدَ رُجُوعِهِ. Okay? So whenever he comes back from helping the mu'min or fulfilling his need and necessity, or due to the sickness, whenever it becomes better, let's say he got fainted and drowsy and dizzy and it's going to fall, so he disconnected the tawaf. Okay. They brought him some juice or something. He had hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia, or whatever type of things he had, and headache. They gave him some pills. After a few minutes, he got regained his freshness. So it says, فَإِنْ كَانَ بَعْدَهُ, if it was after the fourth round, فَالْأَظْهَرُ الصَّحَّةُ. So most apparently to me is correct, valid. فَيُتِمُّهُ, so he completes it. من موضع قطعي, from the location where he had interrupted his tawaf or disconnected his tawaf. After he comes back, he completes from wherever he had continued or disconnected his tawaf. وَلَحْوَةِ الْأَوْلَى, and it is recommended precaution to repeat it, complete it and repeat it. And يُعِيدُ بَعْدَ الْإِتْمَامِ, so complete and repeat it. It's a recommended precaution. هذا في طواف الفريضة. This is in the obligatory tawaf. So it's recommended precaution, okay? If you want to just do it. If you are going to do tawaf mustahab, just do this one. Redoing the wajib tawaf with the intention of if that tawaf, if in the ilm of Allah. But apparently it is correct. والأحوط الأولى أن يعيده بعد الإتمام, and recommended precautions to redo after completing it. هذا في طواف الفريضة. This is in the obligatory tawaf. وأما في النافلة, as for the recommended tawaf, فيجوز البناء على ما أتى به وإن كان أقل من 4 أشواط مطلقا. So he can based on he can consider whatever he can continue, he can build upon, he can continue whatever remaining rounds are, be it less than 4, more than 4, absolutely, without any issue. Necessity, not necessity. Let's see. Ruling number 311. يجوز الجلوس والاستلقاء أثناء الطواف والاستراحة، ولكن لا بد أن يكون مقداره بحيث لا تفوت الموالاة العرفية. It is permissible for a person doing tawaf to sit and rest, to give a pause for sit to rest during the tawaf. Many people, they get tired, exhausted, you see, so no problem. Just go in a corner, and because still you are in the platform of tawaf. Don't exit the platform of tawaf. Why? Because he says, وَلَكِنْ لَا بُدَّ أَنْ يَكُونَ مِقْدَارُهُ. However, it is compulsory. Allahu Akbar. However, after a few minutes, we'll have salah, so we will stop our session for today. So, he will, it is permissible for him to sit and lie down also, not just sit. Ruling number 311. It is permissible for a person who's performing tawaf to interrupt his tawaf during the tawaf to sit or lie down. Sometimes people, they just want to stretch down, okay? Lie down. Lil istiraha, for rest. ولكن however لابد أن يكون مقداره بحيث لا تفوت به الموالاة العرفية. However, the amount of the pause he is taking should not be in a way that he will miss out the consistency and the continuity of the tawaf in front of the commonly observing person or common consideration. Let's say if we, like we said, say the Sistani defines this as 10 minutes. فَإِنْ زَادَ عَلَى ذَلِكَ بَطَلَ. If he exceeds that amount, like 10 minutes as in his istifta'at, then his tawaf will be invalid. His tawaf will be invalid because you and remember one of the obligations of tawaf, consistency. He broke the consistency as he touched the Kaaba, as he went inside the Kaaba. So he violated a condition, an obligation of the obligations of tawaf, that it needs to be associated with muwalat urfiyya. فإن زاد على ذلك بطل طوافه لزمه الاستئناف. If his pause exceeds that time, which causes problem in the consistency of the tawaf, then he will have to redo it. Ruling number 3112. Because now we know the criteria, so I can go quickly through this ruling because this is the application of the criteria. Need or no need, before fourth round, after fourth round, and so on. Wajib or nafila. So three things we are tackling them in these troubleshooter rulings. This is important and interesting. 312. إذا قطع الطواف لدرك وقت فضيلة الفريضة أو لدرك صلاة الجماعة للإتيان بصلاة النافلة عند ضيق وقتها أتمه بعد الفراغ من صلاته من موضع القطع مطلقا. So, if the tawaf إذا قطع لدرك وقت فضيلة الفريضة, okay, he discontinued his tawaf so that he can offer his salat in the time of recommendation. Okay. Let's say he was somewhere in the top of top floor, whatever floor he was doing tawaf, and the salat al-jama'ah did not interrupt his tawaf. Okay. So what happens? He just wants to do his salat on time. And alhamdulillah, there are many mu'mineen, they would love to do that, to offer the salah on time. So he discontinued his salat for one of the two reasons, or one of the three reasons. Number one reason, to offer on time, which is the recommended time. لِدَرْكِ وَقْتِ الْفَضِيلَةِ, to offer salat in the recommended time. Or no, لِدَرْكِ salat al-jama'ah. There was salat al-jama'ah. He wanted to get the thabab of salat al-jama'ah. Okay, like some of the mu'mineen, they were offering salat al-jama'ah. Okay, so he just wanted to join the salat al-jama'ah. أو للإتيان بصلاة النافلة عند ضيق وقتها. So as you know that the nafila of Fajr is offered before Salat al-Fajr. So there's not that much time left, and he just wants to offer the Salat of Nafilat al-Fajr, break the tawaf just to offer the Salat, and then after that there will be Salat al-Fajr, for example. So he will not be able to pray nafila. The mu'mineen, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has embedded the importance of nafila. Nafila means those recommended prayers before Fajr, 2 rakat, before Dhuhr, 4 rakat, before 8 rakat, before Asr, 8 rakat, before after Maghrib, 4 rakat, and after Isha, 2 rakat by sitting. So they're mu'minin, they would want to do like that. They're mu'minin, they don't miss it. Even those people who are working out, they do their nafila on treadmill or the machines of this cross trainer or whatever. Can we do that? Yes, I mean, put your machine in front of the qibla, and while you're doing exercise, do spiritual exercise and physical exercise. Anyhow, so للإتيان بصلاة النافلة عند ضيق وقتها أتم بعد الفراغ من صلاته. So he would continue what? So he would go and pray Jamaat namaz or pray his salat on time. So discontinuing the tawaf to do one of these three things. To pray the farida, wajib namaz on time, or Salat Jama'ah sometimes happens later and he's doing tawaf. So he just wants to get into the Jama'ah. I mean, regardless of the fatwa, you can pray Jama'ah or Furada, but the congregation itself is encouraged by our Maraja that when people, they are having congregation, offer congregation with them, even if you want to recite your own surahs. Okay, that's fine, but it does not look suitable that there's a congregation going on and our followers of Ahlul Bayt are on the side and sitting and doing some independent salat and those kind of this and indecent. Jama'ah means jama'ah, congregation. Yes, recite your surahs, okay, based on the fiqh of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. But be among the group, you see, let them feel that you're Muslims, you're part of Islam. Your salat is not worshipping Ali ibn Abi Talib salamullah alayhi. I know people, they feel discomfortable whenever the people feel that there's a Shia or follower of Ahlul Bayt in the rows. Then their eyes and looks and avaks and radars, they started looking at, and you feel discomfortable. Ignore them. Pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Don't do things which might cause you harm and hardship. So let's say Salat and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and our Aimma alims, they mention in some narrations that if you pray with the other Muslims, especially in the time of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, this phenomena was there. They used to offer congregation prayers. And so our Imams alayhi salatu used to encourage their followers to go and join them. Even if you want to recite your surah, join them. It's good to join the Muslims and show the unity together. Okay, even the aqaid are different, even fiqh is different. That's fine. At least there are quite commonalities a human can base on. Our Maraja, they gave us this direction which was given by our A'imma alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay, so yes. So there is a shortage of time. There is this so nafila. If Salat al-Fajr starts, you can't pray nafila. You can pray Raja al-Matlubiyya, Qadha, whatever. But nafila time of Fajr, nafila time is before Salat al-Fajr, before Adhan al-Fajr. So the time is going tighter. Adhan is going to happen, Adhan al-Fajr. So you go and pray Salat nafila and then continue your tawaf. So he said that atammahu, so if the nafila time was narrowed, عند ضيق وقت أتمه بعد الفراغ. Go pray congregation with them. Go pray nafila before the salat before the salat jama'ah starts, or go pray your fajr and continue. أتم الطواف. He completes the tawaf after completing his prayer. بعد الفراغ من صلاته من موضع القطع مطلقا, from the place, location of discontinuation, absolutely, whenever you before fourth round, after fourth round. When he says absolutely, that means in every case. That means before fourth round, after fourth round. Wherever you discontinued, go back there after your salat and continue. وإن كان الأحوط استحبابان, even though it is recommended precaution to complete and redo if it was before the fourth round. If it was before the fourth round, as you know, that's a general rule for Sayyidi Sistani. MashaAllah, 313. So ruling number 313. إذا نقص من now this is decreasing the tawaf. So now we are going to talk rules of discontinuation. Finish. Now we are talking rules of decreasing the tawaf, and then we will have rules of increasing the tawaf. So let's see. إذا نقص من طوافه سهوا. If he decreases from his tawaf unintentionally, okay? Unintentionally. So فإن تذكره, he forgot. He forgot that he has missed a few rounds. So if someone decreases from his tawaf unintentionally out of forgetfulness, فإن تذكره قبل فوات الموالاة أتى بالباقي وصح طوافه. If he remembers before missing out the consistency by leaving a gap, huge gap, more than 10 minutes, or so if it was less than 10 minutes, he remember, or he had not exited the platform of tawaf, complete it. Ata bil baqi. How many rounds you missed? One round. That's fine. Bring one round. You did six tawaf, six rounds? Yes. No, five. I did 5 rounds. Okay, bring the two. I did 2 rounds. Okay, bring the remaining tawaf. Okay, like it could be 1 round missed, it could be 2 round missed, it could be 3 round missed, it could be 4 round missed, it could be 5 round missed, it could be 6 round. Excuse me. It could be any rounds. So say the Sistani Damadullah has the same criteria of 4. So if he has missed 3 rounds, what does that mean? That means he has done 4 rounds. Okay. So he came to this round 4th, completed. He thought, khalas, 7 rounds are done. So how many rounds he has missed? 3 rounds. 3 rounds he feels. Until now, oh my goodness, I only did 4 rounds. No problem. How many rounds missed? 3. Go and complete it. No, it's 2. Go and bring 2 rounds. No, it's 1. Go and bring 1 round. No, it's half actually. While I was in somewhere quarter, go and continue. So this is the ruling. But what if it was more than 3 rounds? That means he had only done less than 4 rounds. So complete and redo. Complete and redo. Okay. Let's check this ruling. Number 313, excuse me. إذا نقص من طوافه سهوا. If he decreases from his tawaf unintentionally out of forgetfulness, فإن تذكره قبل فوات الموالاة, and if he remembers it before losing the consistency and continuity, أتى بالباقي وصح طوافه. He will bring whatever was missed. 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, 4 round, 5 round. 6 round, 7 round, any rounds, just complete it. Why? Because he has not missed the continuity, consistency, connectivity. Okay, mualat. He did not miss this mualat. So this is scenario number 1. How if he missed the mualat, the continuity, but he forgot. So it was not deliberate. But then if he forgot, if the muala got messed up, then we have this, how many rounds you did and how many are remaining. If you have done 4 rounds and 1 or 2 or 3 are remaining, then just bring them. If you had missed more than four rounds, I mean, if you have not done four, if they had not done fourth round, that means you might have missed three plus, like four rounds missed, 5 rounds missed. That means you only did a few, and mualat is gone. So repeat. It's the same ruling, but in a different scenario kept. So we said that before fourth round, interruption happened, you complete and redo. Here, before fourth round, you forgot. And then later on, when you left the platform of the Kaaba, or you sat 1 hour there or 15, 20 minutes, and you, oh my goodness, I only did like 3 rounds. Oh, less than 4 rounds. Yeah, that means you have to do four plus. Yeah. So redo the whole, complete and redo. It's all complete and redo. Before Sayyid Sistani Damadullah has had different ruling in this. This is all modified and updated new ruling. Okay. I remember teaching this ahkam, but they were in different methodology of fixing it. But this is much easier, 4 round criteria. And complete and redo. For areas where you're not able to continue, complete, like suffice on that previous tawaf, complete it and redo the new one. But after fourth round, no need completed, unless if in a few cases. Okay, so now let's see. Amma, and as for if he remembered after missing the muwalat, تذكروا بعد فوات الموالاة فإن كان المنسي شوطا أو شوطين أو شوطين أو ثلاثة. If the missed was 1 round, 2 rounds, or 3 rounds, أتى به. That means he has done 4 rounds. أتى به وصح طوافه أيضا. See, here he did not mention fourth round, not fourth round. But when you look at the ruling, he says if he had missed 1 round, that means he had done 5 rounds. If he had missed 2 rounds, that means he has done, no, if he missed 1 round, that means he has done 6 rounds. If he missed 2 rounds, that means he has done 5 rounds. If he missed 3 rounds, that means he has done 4 rounds. Then he stops. So if he had missed 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, finished. Then he continues. Ata bihi, he will bring whatever was missed from 1 round or 2 rounds. That means he has done 4 rounds. وَصَحَّ طَوَافٌ. I hope you understand the technicality of 4 round here. That he has done 4 round. So that's why he's saying that if the missed was either 1 round, that means he did 6, 2 round, he did 5, or 3 rounds, he did 4. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَتَمَكَّنْ مِنَ الْإِتْيَانِ بِهِ بِنَفْسِهِ. However, if he was not able to perform it by himself, ولو لأجل تذكره ولو لأجل أن تذكره كان بعد أيابه إلى بلده. Such as if, so if he was not able to perform it by himself, even if it was due to his remembrance after returning to his hometown. He came to Detroit. Oh my goodness, this Tawaf in Nisa, I only did like 4 rounds. Okay, not more. Now what should I do? You know what should you do? Stay away from your wife. No, I can't do like that. God made me alpha guy and this guy and that guy. No problem. We'll try to find a solution. What's the solution? I can't go back and spend a costly ticket and this and that. No, no, no. Find someone there. Find a believer. Find a moment. You have Maulanas there. They can help you out in that. Just send them a few $100, $200, because in Medina there are so many mu'mineen there. They can just come to Makkah by car or by train or by whatever reason and do the tawaf and go. Just give them the money for the traveling. They'll happily do it for you. So he says, if he was not able to perform it by himself, even if it was due to him remembering after coming back to his hometown, istanaba ghayrahu. He delegates a representative. نيابة. Okay. Sayyidina, now we understood that if the max 3 rounds were missed, you complete. What if it was more than 3 rounds? وإن كان المنسي أكثر من 3 أشواط. If the forgotten rounds were more than 3, that means he had not completed the 4th round. رجع وأتم ما نقص. He goes back and he completes whatever he had left. وعاد الطواف بعد الإتمام. After completing the past tawaf, which was remaining, by bringing the remaining rounds which were forgotten, he has to redo it on the basis of obligatory precaution. Al-ahwat wujuban. Okay. So now that was if the tawaf decrease happened in tawaf out of forgetfulness. What if an increase happened? Okay. A state of hyperbolic irfanism, high level, high bouts, doses of irfanism, and he's in a mood. He just goes, continue, Baba. Allah says 7 rounds. Why are you floating around the Kaaba in your Irfani hyper state and this and that? I'm not talking about true Irfani people. I'm talking about those weirdos who are like, they showcase and they show off their Irfanism too much. But no, there are true Irfani people. May Allah bless them and reward them. So whenever I'm making certain comments, because I've seen some weirdos, okay, keep your Irfani to yourself. Why do you have to show us your Irfani attitude and Irfani nature and that kind of thing? People, Irfanism is something between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless us. Irfanism, I mean, ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who doesn't want the ma'rifat of Allah and to bond and to get that again, that saturated spirituality, balanced one, not hyperbolic, okay, not the one with the showcase and show off and this and that. Anyhow, so let's see. الأولى أن لا يقصد الطائف جزئية الزائد للطواف. Okay, a person who's performing is the tawaf. So what is this? الزيادة في الطواف, increase in tawaf. Let me see. I mean, because they'll be calling me for salat. So there are 5 scenarios. Yeah. I think we will have to stop here because I have a ziyada fi tawaf, which is increase in tawaf. And then I have doubt in the rounds of tawaf. And then the rules of tawaf. Perfect. So rules of tawaf. Yeah, I think we'll call it a day because I need to uh, go and pray salat with. So uh, so one session of tawaf is left, and we'll see then what are the questions and answers of tawaf. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله